plan, but I also like Q&A. So if you guys have anybody who you're struggling with answering questions with the product or having any issues with hitting your goals or anything that comes to mind where you're like, oh yeah, that person, feel free to ask or interrupt, because I like to hear other people talk other than myself. So the first thing that I wanted to start with was toxins. We hear so much about detoxes and you're full of toxins and do this juice cleanse and don't eat anything for 15 days except for cayenne pepper, water, and syrup, and all of those celebrity detoxes and things like that. So this website at the top, ewg.org, is a website that you can type anything into, any product into, makeups, soaps, detergents, all of that. It is slightly depressing, and it will tell you the toxin level that is in that product. This feeds into a lot of the different topics that I'm going to go over. So the way that toxins affect our body is in so many different ways. So it's actually really scary. Like if you just look up your makeup line.
That's one of the things we originally talked about in isogenics was the lipstick. If you look, and how much lipstick a woman consumes, like 30 pounds over her lifetime just from licking her lips. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the things to get people that, oh, I'm not toxic, I live a healthy lifestyle. Do you wear lipstick?
Yes. And so a lot of it, just down to your soaps, your perfumes. So I'm going to kind of go into the way your toxins affect your body. So I like to use women because women tend to put on more makeup, perfumes, and things like that. It's not that men don't come in contact with toxins. Your guys' deodorants, your Axe sprays, your soaps, everything like that. The furniture you're sitting on, that's plastic, couch that you buy, your $10,000 couch that was the couch of your dreams, has tons and tons of toxins. And every time you sit on it, your body is absorbing it because your skin is your largest organ. So it absorbs a lot through your skin, through inhaling, and all of that. So this can be somewhat of a depressing, overwhelming website. However, it is useful if you're looking to really make changes in your life. And so the one thing that I wanted to go into is just your hormones from toxins, okay? So we're going to look at how this can affect your hormones. So has anyone heard of like estrogen dominance? Okay. So our culture is starting to talk about things a little bit more. We really started talking about cortisol like 7-8 years ago. We started seeing the commercial. If you have belly fat comes from cortisol. Whatever this product is gets rid of cortisol, which gets rid of belly fat. Remember that annoying commercial that played all the time? So we're into the cortisol. People are kind of understanding that their stress hormones affect things. We're hearing a little bit of estrogen dominance. So what are signs of estrogen dominance? Because people don't really know if they have them. So a lot of it is where you're going to hold your fat. Triceps. This is big in women. A lot of the time you'll notice if you have clients, even if they're not substantially overweight, they hold a lot of fat in their triceps. That is a sign of estrogen dominance.
Can it also be from low testosterone too?
So, yes and no. It's usually because low T and not being able to convert your testosterone are two different things. So you have to get a test on free testosterone and testosterone, which most places now are doing. Just because you're making testosterone does not mean it is free for your body to use. There is your DHT. I'll go into this really quick. DHT is what your testosterone gets turned into from something called your 5-alpha reductase. Tase means enzyme, okay? So just because you're producing testosterone does not mean it's going into your muscles and that your body's utilizing it properly. Men's bodies naturally produce this. If you have genetically predisposition to overproduce 5-alpha reductase, you will have male pattern baldness, and it also leads to prostate cancer. This receding hairline is not the same as male pattern baldness. My amazing husband, his lovely halo, male pattern baldness. That is a sign of 5-alpha reductase because the byproduct of that sits on the hair follicle and prevents it from being able to grow. It also affects your prostate and increases your chances about 72% of having prostate cancer.
So, estrogen, men have estrogen in their system too.
Yes.
Because my testosterone was down about at 30.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. And when they put me on the shots, this was 2 years ago, I went in because I thought, I have breast cancer because I had a lump that hurt so bad. They said, no, your estrogen is taking over for your lack of testosterone.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I got tested and everything. They put me on the medication. They say normal for our age is about, for my age, is about 350, 365 and up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 12 years.
Yes, and you probably feel amazing, like you could move a house.
Okay.
Yes, you can move a house. You can
That's
pick up a house and move
Everything
it.
shots in you.
They work, no, I've been on for 4 months, 5 months.
And you
So,
said that the aromatizing estrogen. Every day I got it checked. Sometimes if you have too much, then it aromatizes.
so your aromatase is another enzyme. Anything ASE is an enzyme, okay? So your 5-alpha reductase is an enzyme that takes your testosterone and turns it into DHT. DHT is a form of testosterone. You cannot utilize it in your muscle development or anything like that. Leads to prostate and male pattern baldness, okay? The other thing is that males' bodies do have estrogen in them, but a lot of the time what happens is the testosterone gets converted from what's called aromatase into your estrogen, okay? So your T becomes E. Why does this happen? Aromatase is an enzyme that changes that into estrogen if you are having too much testosterone. Your body is always trying to prevent an issue, period. Anything it's doing is not doing to be mean to you, it's doing it as a prevention, okay? So when men go on testosterone, bodybuilders, what tends to happen if they overdo it?
They get gynecomastia.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they will sometimes lactate. You will have a lactating man, and it's not actual milk, so like watery substance, but it will cause them to lactate because you still have breast tissue, you still have nipples. Why do you guys have nipples?
Was that, I mean, what you explained to me was that was kind of what's happening to me being so low that the estrogen was producing the
Gynecomastia.
Yes. Your body was producing, because you were getting so much testosterone, your body was producing more aromatase and buffering it by turning it into estrogen.
That's when my testosterone was at
So they
35.
probably put you on an estrogen blocker.
They just put me on straight testosterone. That's when I was real low.
Okay. But after you started having the gynecomastia, did they put you on anything else?
So when I went in for that, that's when they did a test on me and said that my testosterone level was at 35.
Yes.
And they put me on testosterone. And I maintained, with the shots, I was at about 150, 175 for about a year.
Okay.
You know, and I was really overweight, so I don't know what that had to do with anything, but
Yes.
it wasn't, and not, you know, I didn't feel anything other than that pain I had when I originally went in was gone.
Right.
But I still wasn't back to normal. So to be honest, when I started this, I went off of it just because I kind of just went off on my own.
Right.
And when I went in and got tested, I told him, I said, well, I haven't done that. I haven't done it in three months. He goes, well, let's get you tested. When he tested me, he goes, hey, you're a little high. So I was at 1,200.
Okay. And without being on, okay.
That's being off testosterone.
And so here's the thing, anytime that you have, so your aromatase, this goes right into toxins, so it's actually feeding right into the topic. We take in aromatase. Aromatase are in the natural environment. So if you have worked with a trainer and they were like, don't eat peanuts or peanut butter, Sometimes they don't know why they're saying that. They just know to tell their clients not to eat. And a lot of people will think nitrates cause cancer. Nitrates are in bacon and peanuts and things like that. They are. You can get nitrate-free meats and stuff like that. But it's not really the nitrates, it's the aromatase. Peanuts have a high amount of aromatase in them because they are a phytoestrogen. Phyto, plant, estrogen, estrogen. So things like lavender is a phytoestrogen. They make beer out of things.
Soy is phytoestrogen?
Well, yes. Soy is a huge phytoestrogen, huge. It does not matter. I have a lot of people who are like, why eat non-GMO and all of that? Well, that's great. You're not getting pesticides. Soy is a phytoestrogen. It still raises your estrogen levels if you're consuming it. Period. Over time, you will have estrogen issues.
Here's the question. So we know soy protein's bad, and soy is a phytoestrogen. But then I get thrown off when they say Asia has such low instances of breast cancer, and the Asian diet is so heavy in soy. Is that a genetic thing?
Most Asian countries, for the longest amount of time, I think they were the first to ban any GMOs and are very, very, very strict on pesticides and what they feed people. In fact, China has a huge lawsuit, and I can't think the company that it's against because they were putting some sort of GMO product into a food that was coming in, and it is, I mean, very strict prison time, it's no joke. You cannot have GMOs or pesticides in China. And so a lot
in America,
of those
we
things.
can. They won't tell you about them. They won't want to label it either.
Actually, something crazy. It's on the same subject, but completely different programming. Is the eating for blood type?
Yes, I actually know a ton of
blood type A
yes.
thrives on soy protein.
Yeah. So do you know anything about your blood type A though? Why that happens?
Because of the low stomach acidity.
Yes. So how would you solve that?
We need alkaline water.
No, alkaline water would lower your stomach acidity or raise it.
But it was saying that they weren't. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I was reading into it, and it's saying that alkaline water would work better for a type A than it would for a type O. That has higher stomach acids. I know it sounds crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is through years of research apparently. But anyways, yes, soy for type A is actually what they're saying is better. So animal proteins don't work well on blood type. So I'm doing a little research with that too.
They also said that in the thing that we read that said soy has about as much muscle building properties as water.
So here, just quick on the blood type thing. It's a little off, but it's kind of odd. Higher pH means you're more alkaline. So when you read higher pH, it doesn't mean you have higher acidity, it means you have less acidity. Your stomach acid needs to be between 3.0 and 3.7 for you to be able to absorb. If you miss this step due to cortisol being off, stress, sleep, this pH goes up, you don't break down everything in your stomach, it goes into your small intestine as big pieces and you have malabsorption. You need a low stomach acid. That's why a lot of the time if you drink alkaline water while you're eating something, especially things like your minerals, calcium, magnesium, these need a higher acidity to be absorbed. That's why a lot of calcium will be coupled with citric acid. So you need this. That's why Tums is an oxymoron. You're creating an alkaline stomach, but you're going to get calcium from your Tums. You are not. No. So when it says higher pH, it's meaning you have a more alkaline pH. If it says you have a lower pH, it means it's more acidic. It has to be between 3.0 and 3.7 to get your nutrients that you need. That's why drinking alkaline water has its benefits, but you have to make sure you're cycling it properly because if you become too alkaline, you will not absorb things. And you also get these things called calcium uric acid stones. They're like kidney stones. It's a side effect from that. So that's from your pH being off. Your blood type A and AB are a newer blood type. B and O are your older blood types. These were your nomadic people. So they were your caveman, they traveled, they hunted. That's why these blood types tend to crave meat more and tend to do better on meat products. That does not mean farmed chicken and farmed cow. That means a more wild diet, bison, elk, venison, things like that. Your A and AB actually developed in Asia when the agricultural time period came about. Because that blood type developed from them, they tend to crave more carbohydrates and more agricultural-based things, which is why they say soy. Because soy is farmed, and they were farming it then. It's a cheap crop, and it grows pretty easily, okay? But potatoes, all your vegetables are going to do well with A's and ABs.
Potatoes, grains.
Your sweet potatoes are different, though.
Sweet potatoes are more toxic.
To your A's?
Yeah.
So Jamie just said something about what you say about the meats, not cows or chicken. That's farm.
That's farm.
Okay.
So
Okay, I get that, but you see, what's going to happen is if there's going to come a point where it's going to shift. They're going to say, okay, nobody wants to eat cows and chickens anymore. They want to eat milk. So then they're going to start farming that.
Right.
We're going to be right back to where we started.
But it's just farm, so you have to.
Because they are farming bison.
Absolutely.
You know?
And so then you'll get into the whole thing, how do we make money? Okay, now we're going to feed the bison corn because it's cheaper, and then we're going to, now bison's not going to be good, they're going to become fattier animals, and it's not a good thing for protein source. Man will ruin things,
Exactly.
always. So you have to kind of just stay on the cutting edge, but that's why these blood types are different than these, and that's why they'll always say that. However, back in the day when soy was first being farmed, the soil was more nutrient, and it was not GMO, it was not sprayed with tons of pesticides. It's the highest grade crop other than wheat. And so you're gonna have a lot of issues with this, and soy is not a complete protein, and it still doesn't take away this. You are still taking in high levels of aromatase. You will still turn your testosterone into estrogen by taking in the aromatase, whether your body can absorb it better or not. Also, if you want to know a lot more about blood types, look into dark light imaging, okay? It's a different microscope. It looks good at things horizontally in a dark light. And there's about 26, 27 unidentified things in the blood that are there every single time that they refuse to identify because they want it to be white blood cells, red blood cells, platelets, plasma. There was a study, if you look, there's a really cool book, and there's an image. I was just talking about this last night. A boy came in to a naturopathic doctor. He was having a lot of behavioral issues. Doctor did the blood test, looked at it under dark light imaging. His blood was beautiful. It looked like a Christmas tree. It was like so gorgeous. And if you look at the images, they're beautiful. I mean, you can see so many things. It's not like a bland image. And the doctor was like, oh my gosh, this kid's blood is like so full of colors. So when he met with the parents and him again, he said, what did you eat before we did this blood test? And he had eaten Fruity Pebbles. And all of the food coloring showed up under the imaging because your body absorbs all of that, and it was going into his cells. On a cellular level, he was food coloring. And so by eliminating that and a lot of other things, they got rid of a lot of those issues. And so you definitely, I don't necessarily think this is a bad way, and it's a good way to educate yourself. However, you also have to look at things in our environment and the reality of how they affect you, regardless of this, because this is a little bit of an ideal world, and not necessarily, even if, Kevin, you do well on soy, but you have leaky gut, you have a soy sensitivity, now it doesn't matter, I'm just saying, now it doesn't matter if you are supposed to be eating it or not, it's still going to cause an issue regardless. So you kind of have to look at the big picture. So back into these. These are all going to come from your estrogens. Estrogens are in, like I said, a lot of your plant estrogens, a lot of your chemicals that they use have estrogens in them that your body are absorbing. Your bottle of water. Can I steal your bottle of water for a second? So your soft plastics, if this heats up at all, it does not have to be hot. If it's sitting in your car and it gets warm, all of the plastics leach into the water. Your body identifies this entire bottle as estrogen. You're drinking it, it's estrogen. Your bottle is nice and cool, right? If you refill this bottle with water, it leaches out the plastic, it is a bottle of estrogen. The other issue is just because you're keeping your plastic cool does not mean that the 15 times it was shipped in a hot truck that it didn't get hot. So that is the
No one
concern with
thinks that
soft
when you die, you
plastics.
get high.
And that's why,
BPA free.
yeah,
Doesn't matter. Soft plastics, the BPA is a toxic component that they identified 12 years ago, started regulating 9 years ago. BPA is toxic, and it is good if they're BPA free. The soft plastics still leach it, it still becomes estrogen to your body. Period. Doesn't matter if it's BPA free. Soft plastics.
So it's something like this.
No, it doesn't leach if it gets warm.
So that's why we demand food.
Well,
that's
There's a
what,
lot of people, but yeah.
thank you.
you know what I said, there seems to be a really high, when I went to school, there seems to be a really high instance now. I see kids that are much more effeminate. We always had one or two, but I see kids now that are very effeminate. And then I started researching, and I see these BPAs, and if they're raised on it, whether mom was even whether in the womb, if their mom was doing it, it leaks in there, and it causes higher estrogen levels.
Well, and then the soy generation, there's a lot of soy milk
Yes.
that women aren't nursing. So there's a generation of soy-fed babies. Same thing, it started showing up.
Not only that, but
Early puberty, early.
all of your fast food is chock full of soy. It's cheap. Your burger from McDonald's is very, very, very little beef, very, very, very much soy. And so when kids are eating things like that, this is why girls are developing much faster. This is why we're seeing cancer. The reason why aromatase are not good is because the higher your estrogen level is, so cancer, you have estrogen positive receptors and estrogen negative receptors. So some cancers need estrogen to grow, some don't, most do.
That's my mom.
Most are affected by estrogen.
So
It is a miracle grow for cancer.
when I was in high school, we had, most everybody was on the skinny side, right? We had a couple of fat people. But now I see there's just hardly any skinny people, and it's all fat. So this is what's wrong. I mean, it's like everybody's becoming overweight.
So it's a cycle also. The more body fat that you have, the more estrogen your body produces. Estrogen is kind of a destructive cycle. So it's called an estrogen loop. So your estrogen, your body produces estrogen. In women, there are 3 different sources, which is your adrenals, your ovaries, and then when you're pregnant, you produce a different estrogen that you don't have if you're not pregnant. Okay, so that one's not really to be worried about. With men,
HCG.
what?
HCG.
No, it's estradiol. So your estradiol, you're only making when you're pregnant. It's not estradiol. You have your estrogen, you have your estradiol, and then you have your, excuse my pregnancy brain, it'll come to me in a minute. So you have your 3 forms. When women go into menopause, their ovaries shut down, they're not producing estrogen from their ovaries, it's just coming from their adrenals. And so that's why a lot of the time the hormones will get a little bit whacked. They're also not producing enough testosterone or progesterone. But estrogen has a destructive loop. So the more fat you have, the more estrogen you produce. The more aromatase you bring in from poor diet, just environmental causes, plastics, all of those things, peanuts, soy, all of that, the more fat you put on. The more overweight you are, the more toxins you hold in your body because toxins are stored in your fat. And it's a cycle. Usually the higher your estrogen is, leads to constipation. That's why a lot of women are constipated. Your body releases estrogen through your feces. The longer the feces sit in your large intestine reabsorbs the estrogen. And now you're not even getting rid of the estrogen your body's trying to get rid of. You're reabsorbing it and you're gaining more weight. Your diet's still bad. You're holding on to more toxins, which makes you gain more weight, which makes you produce more estrogen. And it's this destructive cycle right here. That's why poop is so important. And people like, a lot of my clients will call me like,
Poop Nazi?
yeah, the poop doctor, or you're obsessed with poop. Or, poop is so important, how regular people are. It affects so many things. So I ask a lot about poop because it tells me a lot about what's going on in the body. And so that's kind of the issue with estrogen. And so if you start looking up on this website the things you take in, your makeups, your cleaners, all those things, not even talking about gut health, we're just talking about hormones, how it affects hormones. But your areas that you're going to see, triceps, hips, breast area, this also affects men usually, your lower stomach. So what look is really popular? It's funny because me and Mike were talking about this for women. What is like the sexy look now?
Kardashian look with the big butt.
Big butt, big boobs, small waist. Our culture is becoming more geared towards things like that. Not that that's a bad thing, because even if you look back at like Greek sculptures and stuff, women were healthier and they weren't like twiggy for reproductive reasons. However, that is becoming such a look because people are looking like that a lot more because our estrogen dominance is insane in our culture. Most men by the age of 32 have low T. That is not normal. That should not happen. You should not have someone who is healthy, athletic, and all of those things having low T, eating a healthy diet. That is coming from our environment, our plastics, our aromatase, our pesticides, things that are leaching into the body and causing a very toxic environment. And so this is where Isagenix product and detox, a lot of people can benefit from a detox, kind of just to reset things. Again, poop is very important. You need to be regular. You need to be putting good superfoods into your body so that you're nourishing everything, getting the nourishment that you need so that your body can eliminate this. Your body always has a system to fix everything. That's where your problems are coming from. Your body is trying to fix what you're doing to it, and you're not getting out of the way, and so it's causing all these other issues because it's trying to fix one issue. So you have 5 that come from it. That's why a lot of I don't know if anyone's read like Dr. Laval's books or heard of Dr. Laval. He's the metabolic doctor. Laval.
Oh.
He's French. He's the French poop doctor.
Poop doctor. Laval.
Laval, Dr. Laval. He has a book that's really, really good. It's kind of geeky called Cracking the Metabolic Code. He has, you could probably YouTube it and see if you could find it, but he has a whole thing where he shows a list of prescriptions and their side effects. Everything that the prescriptions deplete, meaning minerals and vitamins, and the side effects of being depleted in those minerals and vitamins are all the side effects of the medications. Medications leach things out of our bodies, and so that's where a lot of your side effects are going to come from your prescription drugs and things like that. Which kind of leads into, does anyone have questions on this?
I have questions on poop.
Okay.
Why is it that poop can make your baby with somebody else's poop?
It's the poop that matters. It's where it comes from.
It's the poop that matters.
What are some of the like physical symptoms or signs you can look for both high and low estrogen and testosterone?
Okay, so recovery is a huge one. Low T, you're going to not recover as quickly, not be able to put on lean body mass. That's more of your workout way. Estrogen, bad body composition, not sleeping well. They're feeling sluggish, bloated, because again, you're having issues with the digestive tract. It kind of is a big cycle. Irritability, anxiety, depression. The same thing is how people will say, oh, she's pregnant, so she's like, don't talk to the pregnant lady. That's because she's full of estrogen and she's nuts. So if you're estrogen dominant and you're not having a good balance, with women, the estrogen progesterone ratio is very important. Most women will have low progesterone. Progesterone is what makes you feel good. Progesterone, you need this ratio to be good. Estrogen is usually higher, progesterone is really low. A lot of modern medicine will treat the symptom and not the cause. And so you'll get put on pellets or testosterone or things like that. Those can work and make you feel better. However, you are treating a symptom, you are not treating a cause. So you will become reliant on those things. And the downside is that after a while of being on them, usually your body will figure out a way to make them not work, because that's kind of what our bodies do in general. Again, it's a self-correcting machine. Your body will always correct to survive and to live. So that's with, so those symptoms, low libido is a huge one. If someone, especially women and men, are suffering from low libido, that's why a lot of the time, like pregnancy and after pregnancy and stuff, you'll hear like a lot of guys complain, like my wife is in baby mode, wants something to do with me. They're also very, very dominant in estrogen to produce, to lactate, to have a baby and all that. Your estrogen's through the roof. It kind of takes time for that to calm down for your libido to come back. Some women do not recover and their estrogen levels never rebalance after having kids. And so a lot of that comes from diet, from stress, from not sleeping, from not taking care of themselves, not working out, and all of those things. They never really rebalance after it. So you'll have a lot of women who say, well, I was in great shape until I had my kids. Human body is meant to bounce back and recover and survive. So having a child should not put you in like a big hole where we're just going to cover you up and you might as well call your life in. You should be able to rebound from that. If you're not, it's probably more of a hormonal imbalance, diet, and things like that are really affecting it.
I did find that list, that doctor's list.
Dr. Laval?
Well, this is just, I don't know if it's his, but I looked it up. It shows the things that people take and whatever deprives their body of.
Yes.
It's pretty sad. Like Zantac and Tagamet and all those things people take for heartburn, Pepsid, deprives your body of vitamin B12, vitamin D, calcium, iron, zinc, folic acid. It's crazy.
Yes.
Jeez.
Well, I heard somebody say that instead of taking Rolaids or that kind of stuff for heartburn or whatever, they said you should eat them. Well, that too, but they also said English cucumbers, because the peelings on the cucumbers is the peptin or pepsid or whatever it's called. That's what they use to make the Rolaids and peptinase C or whatever it is. So instead of doing that, eat the cucumber because it's better for you.
Right. So we'll kind of go into stomach acid because I wanted to touch on that with absorption. So like I said, you need your stomach acid. Ideally, you want it in your low 3s, 3.3 pH. So your stomach needs to be very acidic. Your stomach does not digest any carbs. You have no enzymes in your stomach to digest carbs. Your enzymes that start digesting carbs are in your mouth, and they're in your small intestine, your duodenum down here. This is where your pancreas and your liver and your gallbladder all leach their digestive enzymes into here. You do not digest carbohydrates in your stomach, period. Your stomach churns everything. It's kind of like a washing machine. It's like churning and churning and churning it. It only has enzymes to break down proteins and fats. Okay, your lipase and your protease. So you need your stomach to be more acidic to break everything down. If you have large pieces going into your intestine, that's when you're going to have that leaky gut. It goes into your bloodstream, you're flagged, and now you're having food sensitivities. The other thing that really affects your stomach pH is stress. When people are stressed, their pH goes up. When their pH goes up, they're not digesting things properly. They're having food sensitivities, and they also are getting acid reflux. We'll say, oh, I burp everything up. I can't eat peppers anymore. I can't have my mom's red tomato sauce. I just have constant reflux. Reflux normally is due to a stress and to your pH in your stomach actually being too high. Acidic stomachs do not cause reflux. It is an alkaline stomach that causes reflux, okay? The reason being, You get up into,
Is your body trying to produce more acid?
even up to the 7. I mean, that's really extreme. When you are up that high, your body is churning and churning and churning and churning and churning and trying to pump more and more stomach acid into your stomach so that you can bring that acidity level down. The way 9 times out of 10 to treat stomach acid issues and reflux, you want to treat it with an acid. You want to help create a more acid environment in your stomach. The other thing is that people don't realize is that to produce more stomach acid, you're using a ton of ATP. ATP is your energy source, and so a lot of people are feeling stressed, they're feeling fatigued, they're having this issue with their stomach, they're refluxing, oh, I can't eat vegetables because they make me burp and reflux. I hear that all the time. I can't have raw vegetables. Okay, your body can't have raw vegetables. That's normal. Like, that is not normal. We should not be able to have nutritious vegetables in our diet. There's something else going on. By not eating the vegetables, you're not solving this problem. You're just not getting the nutrients and diet needs that your body needs because your stress and this pH balance is thrown off. So this is also why the alkaline water thing is good. You just want to make sure that you're cycling it and you're not like constantly drinking alkaline water. You can also test your pH through your urine strips because if your body is too alkaline, bicarbonate, your kidneys will release bicarbonate. Excuse my spelling. I'm a science geek. I'm like really not good at spelling. It'll release bicarbonate because bicarbonate in your body is what keeps your pH more alkaline. So if you're becoming too alkaline, bicarbonate's going to come out in your urine. If you're becoming too acidic, your kidneys hold on to your bicarbonate, they pump out acid.
Okay, so question, we just bought our
Yes.
tank.
Yes.
So drinking a lot of high pH water.
Yes.
So explain where we specifically need to be, and because obviously your goal is to be alkaline.
Right.
Wait, I know another question. When you bought a system to get higher pH water, how do you do that?
Can get water. It's a medical device in Japan.
But it's artificially raising the pH because you can't take water that has a certain pH and make it have more pH.
It does it through magnets. It's not, yeah.
It runs over ionized plates, and that's how it makes water.
It's not through like baking soda or anything like that. But if people also want alkaline water, you could drink baking soda. It's the same exact thing. Your body makes baking soda is bicarbonate.
So are we supposed to be drinking that every day or every other day?
They say
So I would cycle it like every 3 to 4 days. I would go back to a 7.0 and drink that for 2-3 days, then go back to your alkaline because a too alkaline body, if your body is too alkaline, you will have those stones I was talking about. No, you're not going to have as high of a risk of like your cancers and stuff because those thrive in acidic environments, but your body will have other side effects, plus your kidneys will have to start pumping out tons of bicarbonate, which is a stress on your kidneys. You can get glomerulus infections, which is just kind of like a kidney infection.
So, which?
Too long or too short.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't eat with it either. Okay.
what, alkaline water?
Yeah.
Yeah, they say not to eat.
Yeah, I don't eat or take supplements with it.
So it's like,
Sometimes I still have it in the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like neutralized.
Ah.
there could be a certain time.
So I just dump it out.
Time to take it.
Yeah.
I just drink it during the day, like as I'm like walking around and training people,
Yeah.
just drinking water. I'm not eating snacks.
Empty stomach,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Right. Empty stomach, you're training, you're.
So one thing that you can do to also alkalize your water is lemon water. Will alkalize your body, but it won't alkalize your stomach because it's acidic. So by putting lemon in your water, it comes into your stomach. The lemon's still acidic, but when it processes through your body, it's causing a more alkaline environment, and that is safe to drink while you're eating. That's why a lot of cultures, through probably not even knowing the science, just knowing, hey, people do better if they drink lemon water or drink it, and it kind of became a thing. So that's one way to do it, but Kevin's right. You wouldn't want to drink a ton of alkaline water when you're eating.
What are other ways to get alkaline water? You got lemon or lime water, or is it
You can do
lemon.
fresh lime. Actually, lime is better than lemon.
It's a little bit more acidic. Lemon has, there's a micronutrients that lemon has that lime doesn't. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'll look it up and send it to you. Lime is fine. Like, lime is not bad. Limes are good for you. So, just like your orange juice isn't going to make it, it's got a lot of sugar in it. So, you're more citric.
So we do like Himalayan sea salt, lime, water, shot in the morning. I started way off.
How much you, so,
If your guy doesn't do shots of shit anymore, just kind of put it in place.
Yeah.
You know. So what was it? No, it was some Himalayan sea salt.
yeah, how much of that?
That's like a couple grinds.
Yeah.
Usually it's already in a grinder.
Yeah.
Unless your grinder breaks and then you can't get the salt out, and you're like, ah.
You should wonder.
Gary's hardcore. So that's kind of how stress affects your absorption in your stomach. And again, if you're not absorbing, the big pieces are coming into your small intestine. They're getting red flag. You're getting food allergies and things like this. And so that's why a lot of the time people who are under high stress will start having food sensitivities, will start having leaky gut, will start not going to the bathroom regularly.
So they won't have irritable bowel, it'll be constipation?
People handle food sensitivities differently.
Okay.
Some food sensitivities will cause immediate release, which is irritable bowel. Your body basically produces a ton of mucus into your intestines, like floods your intestines with mucus to get everything out. That's how laxatives work. Laxatives are an intestine irritant. Coffee is also an irritant, and so that's why when people drink coffee, they're like, ooh, I can poo when I drink
What if you just
coffee.
smell it?
Yeah, what do you smell?
It's like a
That's
Pavlov's
a condition.
dog.
Yes, that's a condition in your brain. Your synapses have known when I smell coffee, that means I'm going to poo soon.
Pre-workout. Soon to pre-workout.
But David is like, everything has the coffee effect on David. He's like, oh, it was the onions. Oh, it was the sushi. Oh, it was the steak.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the protein. I can't drink that lifetime
I'm never
shake.
comfortable talking about this.
You just ask them if you smell it, so you let yourself out there.
Yeah, irritable bowel is a little bit different than your food sensitivities, but food sensitivities can cause irritable bowel.
Okay.
But most things immune-wise are going to be linked to your gut because your gut is your immune system.
Right.
So then the last thing that I kind of think, how am I on time?
We have all the time in the world.
Okay. So you have your lungs. I'm kind of linking this in with like the ant line, but mainly glutamine. So a lot of people who work out or trainers will know, what does glutamine do? Glutamine helps you recover. That's like speeds up recovery. That's what everybody says. Okay. So glutamine actually does a lot more than just speeds up recovery. And again, we're back to the intestines. Glutamine helps bind that simple columnar epithelium. It's like the glue. Glutamine is like glue, right here. Glues all of those together. And when there's no gaps there, those big food particles can't get in. They get broken down by all your bicarbonates and everything that your pancreas, gallbladder, and all that's releasing, liver. And then your little cilia here get to absorb it the right way. Your fats go through your fats get absorbed into a separate system. It's your, it'll come to me, it starts with an L. And then your proteins and carbohydrates go through your bloodstream. And so those get absorbed that way. Glutamine helps bind those. By binding those, you're going to have a higher probiotic count. You're going to have a healthier pH. You're going to absorb your micro and macro minerals that you need. And so everything's happier. That's why glutamine speeds up recovery, because glutamine allows for that binding, and this is where your immune system is. Your immune system is what allows you to recover. Glutamine is not what allows you to recover. It is your own immune system. If you are having an immune issue, you are not recovering from workouts, you are getting sick all the time, Those are people who have autoimmune who will catch things like celiac disease. If I have gluten that comes in, my intestines look like black tar was dumped all over them. You can't see your central columnar, you have no villi, you literally cannot absorb for almost 30 days before it starts recovering. So if there's a cold, if there's strep, anything, because there's stuff all over, if I have gluten, I will catch it. I will be sick for weeks and I can't recover. So that's why I have to be really, really careful. It's not worth it. It's not one of those like, oh, the belly ache, and I'll just, you know, go home and lay down. So there's.
Can you, once you have that, you never get rid of it then?
My disease? No, I have a gene for it. I'm genetically predisposed to it, and culturally, because our culture's been consuming so much gluten and pesticides at the same time, that's why more people are having a gluten intolerance. But mine is a full-blown autoimmune disease. It would be the same as type 1 diabetes. It is what it is. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. Their immune system has killed the cells in their pancreas that produce insulin. That's just the sticky side of that. So that's why type 1 and type 2 are two different things. So glutamine allows your immune system to be strong and your immune system to recover you. A lot of people don't realize with endurance athletes, so if you have anybody who's an endurance athlete training for a half marathon, triathlon, those rag bar, am I saying that right?
Ragnar.
Ragnar, thank you. I knew I was missing something, but I do that a lot. If my husband was here, he would correct me like that. So anyone needing endurance or increasing their cardiovascular, if you have someone who's been sedentary and they start doing more cardio, very, very, very often, they'll say, oh, 2 or 3 weeks, then I have this like little chest cold. They don't have a chest cold. What's happening is their immune system is taking a little bit of a dip, and it is not repairing their lungs properly. You have macrophages in your lungs. I'm gonna draw these little like monster guys, okay? They live in your lungs, they're part of your immune system, and what they do is all the mucus and gunk and debris and everything you breathe in gets trapped in mucus, and these little guys grab the mucus balls and they bring them up your trachea and your esophagus, and that's when you kind of get that like mucus, or you're like, oh, I have a little bit of phlegm, or that's very normal. That's because these guys.
You'll taste blood when you run salt.
Yes.
Taste blood.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's more of an irritant on your esophagus from the air, especially cool air is an irritant. You have mucus membranes in your nose that actually warm up the air. That comes from breathing through your mouth too much because you're at high zone cardiovascularly, and so you're going to try and get more air, so you'll mouth breathe, and you skip your nasal mucus membranes up here that warm up the air, and so cold air starts going in and your lungs start getting shocked. Because again, your body wants to condition everything.
So we really are supposed to breathe in through
your nose.
It's when you're running.
It is.
Start off doing it,
You're
and then
spraying your ankle into your nose.
what's that?
You're spraying your
Right.
into your mouth.
Right.
It doesn't take you big enough.
But that's why you're not
At
sprinting.
least mine know, but it's the small.
You're not sprinting 24/7. You know what I mean? Like Kevin is. He sprints everywhere. He's like a little kid that just runs all the time. So your macrophages bring up that mucus. That's why smokers a lot of the time, when they start coughing, they will say, oh, I need to go have a cigarette. Okay?
Alone, right?
Yeah, so they're coughing, and a lot of smokers will go have a cigarette. The reason why they do that is because in your esophagus, you have your cilia. These cilia, the macrophages start kind of passing off your little phlegmies to them, and your cilia start kicking it up, okay? Every time you smoke, you paralyze these cilia for about 15 minutes. And so when they're coughing and having an issue with all that gunk that's in their lungs that their body's trying to get rid of, they smoke a cigarette, these get paralyzed, and the gunk can't come up. And so they feel like that's helping them because in a sense it is, but usually after 15 minutes if you watch them or they'll cough and that's kind of why, because those aren't paralyzed anymore. And after a while you'll do long-term damage to that through smoking. But the lungs can regenerate to a degree. So when you're having people glutamine, because it helps create a stable I have a pregnancy brain. I've said it 1,000 times. Your immune system is allowed to produce your macrophages, everything's healthy and running properly, all that gunk that you're getting from improving your cardiovascular kicks in, and so you're not going to get that upper respiratory infection. So if you have someone who's like, I want to start training for a half marathon or anything, then going on a glutamine is really, really important, not just to speed up muscle recovery, but it's going to help with upper respiratory infections.
So what's our glutamine?
Our glutamine is in recovery. So you're getting your branched chain amino acids and your glutamine at the same time. So your branched chains will allow your muscles to repair because those are the little links to help you utilize protein and absorb it properly and utilize it for your muscles. And then your glutamine is going to help with your setting up your immune system.
So skipping that step, she needs to stop skipping that step.
Yes.
So she takes the power, but she doesn't take the recovery.
So the power is really good for higher intensity workouts because, go ahead, Gary, did you have a question before I go into this? Okay. So your power has your creatine in it. Creatine, a lot of people will think is for mass and makes you bloated and all of that. That's not necessarily true. It's just an energy source. Your body will utilize fat at rest. It will utilize sugar. Glycogen stores next. After it can't utilize that, like your glycogen stores are zapped or you're at too high of intensity, it goes to creatine. It's just a way for your body to use energy, especially when it's lacking oxygen. The moment that you're lacking oxygen, you need oxygen to use fat. So that's why the pre-workout.
So the Nox helps out too?
Yeah.
Nox is the.
It's like opening up the capillaries.
Yeah, it's like a vasodilator. Here we go. Go ahead.
Most of this water's got to be glutamine and get your energy.
I love
If you get these symptoms.
If you're getting these symptoms, your recovery is a really good product that Isogenics has that has your glutamine and your BCAAs in it.
Doing that already, you're still slow.
I would up it.
Still slow? Like physically slow? Yeah. I'm tired. Oh, you know, I'm tired. Like, I don't feel like I'm 16 anymore.
Yeah, well, before I started taking the isogenics, I felt fatigued all the time. I thought that was it. I just thought it was part of